In the heart of ancient knowledge, there's a beautiful and powerful truth. When you remember, you're ready to transform. You've been walking around this world for a long time, believing that you should find abundance, learn to express yourself, and attract what you want. But there's something that changes everything. You're not looking for anything, you're the origin. You're not the magnet, you're the creative spark. The universe doesn't act as a genius is all about giving desires to the universe. The universe simply reflects what it is. And what is this? It's your reality. You don't receive it luckily or for deserving. But don't worry, because the truth was protected and transmitted in hidden silence in ancient symbols. All you have to do is remember. Think about some basic things. When you asked permission to breathe, you asked your lungs to enter. You didn't just do it. It's automatic. This also works for the act of creation. It didn't come to this world to ask the universe or, "Hey, friend." If you're in to interpret signs, you're in the right place. You've got the same confidence as someone who's breathing, and that's how you attract what they call attraction law. But here's the thing, that's just a small part of a bigger truth. It's like we're all connected, like everything is outside, and we have the power to attract it. But the reality is a bit different. You're not just an outside observer, you're the stuff that shapes the universe. This book is all about you, and it's here to teach you some cool techniques or give you a few steps to help you reach your goals. So, let's dive in. Hey, why not try something a little more powerful? Think about what you're really going through. It's not about learning something new, but rather about bringing back a memory that's always been there. This will help you understand things in a whole new way, and it can totally change the way you see everything. You really wanted this, and it wasn't too far away. It's just waiting for you to recognize it. This isn't about becoming someone different, it's about embracing your true self. Part 1, The Awakening. Amidst the bustle of the city, nestled in the heart of the illusion, Walter found his life's rhythm. A man filled with passion, he had filled his house with books, each one a guide to inviting prosperity. His newspapers, filled with uplifting phrases, were his morning ritual. He paused to his dream board, closed his eyes, and imagined his ideal life. Every night, he penned stories about his future. As the years unfolded, his dreams remained the same. One day in autumn, over a cup of coffee, he sat, feeling a bit frustrated, after another attempt that hadn't quite worked out the way he'd hoped. A kind old man in Mesa nearby shared something that left him speechless. "You're trying too hard to bring something that's already yours," the old man said with a gentle look, full of calm wisdom. "The bird doesn't need to attract the air, it just opens its wings and flies." Those simple yet powerful words shattered the wall that had been holding them back. They realized that their wishes weren't as far out as they had thought. The problem was that they had imagined their wishes as something outside, which had created a separation between them and the universe. You know, I've always thought that the never-existed thing is kind of like how flowers don't really try to grow. It's like they don't go out looking for experiences from the outside world. Instead, they share their beauty and fragrance from within. It's a beautiful law of how everything works, you know. Walter really understood that. His dream board wasn't just a bridge to life, it was a way to connect with something greater. Out of it. Power had always been inside him, but he didn't realize it. Months later, his life had changed completely, but not because he was attracted to it. It was because it transformed, stopped seeking success, and started living it. He left to run behind abundance, and the change began to act from it. Outside, wine was born in its own way. The world no longer responded to their wishes, but reflected its inner energy. When you understand this, the need to manifest disappears. Do not need to attract what? Hey, you're already doing great with your diary. Here's a little exercise for you. Write down 3 things that have come into your life easily, and then ask yourself how you felt in that moment. You'll see that they didn't just appear because you wished for them, they came to you because you were open to them. The secret is all about expression, not attraction. Imagine you're in a bookstore, lost in a forgotten corner. Suddenly, you find an ancient leather book. You open it, and the dust rises in the golden light of sunset, revealing words that have been waiting for you. It really seemed to shine on the pages, you know. The message was clear: everything that influences your life is always under your control. Whether you realize it or not, the universe governs by constant laws that operate without your input. Just like gravity, These laws don't need your approval to act. They shape your world every second. Think about this when you speak your language. You don't think about rules, you just speak. It's the same with creation. Your reality works the same way. Your inner world is like a mirror, reflecting what's going on inside you and attracting experiences that align with your vibrations. It's a chance to create something new and beautiful. Leonor started experimenting with these laws and saw something amazing. Their achievements and challenges were like perfect mirrors, reflecting their inner selves. At the time, the key was not to dominate new forces, but to recognize that they had always been with you. You and she have always been. Hey, let's work together to create your life step by step. The cool thing is that now you can do it with intention. Just choose 3 key moments from your past, one good one, one difficult one, and one unexpected one. Think about what you felt in each moment and what thoughts dominated your mind. You'll see that even the hardest moments have their roots in your inner state. If you can see it, you can change it. Breathe deeply and imagine the path of your thoughts and emotions. Go back to the months before those events. You'll find a pattern. There's always been a beautiful connection between your inner world and your outer life. This is the heart of it. Those dreams and thoughts that come back to you without reason. They are just signs from life, waiting for you to notice. Life is always saying, hey, wake up and take your place as a creator. When you look at the big picture, you'll see something amazing. Every challenge and every opportunity is born from a hidden fear, and every opportunity is even more incredible because of you. Even those thoughts that may have seemed small at the time played a part in creating today. You are the creator, even when you felt like it was just one piece of chance. Your mind and energy were already designing the map of your life, and now you can finally take control. If you are aware of that process, imagine a study illuminated by the soft light of the dawn with a view of the city. Edwin is there in front of your work table, reviewing. Plans took the form of houses over the course of 3 decades. These houses were loved by many and considered true masterpieces. But there was something missing. The vision of your perfect home was always out of reach. Each new design fell short. Until one morning, a revelation struck him like a bolt of inspiration. He understood that he wasn't just an architect of houses, but also the architect of his own life, and the same is true for you. Your thoughts are the pen that sketch out your plans, reality is the paint that brings them to life, and your attention is the brush that adds the finishing touches. Shapes are so important. Everything you face is a result of plans invisible to you, drawn deep in your conscience. You want to respond to what you are because it is a perfect mirror of your interior state. If you want to change your world, you know you need to redraw your internal structure. Edwin Lowe understood this when he realized that no building appears by chance. First, it is born as an idea, then it becomes a plan, and only after it becomes physical. It's also about your life. When he stopped looking for the ideal house in the external world and began to align your vision with what you had inside, everything changed. Everything became about more than cement and walls. It became about coherence between your essence and your mind. And that's also your truth. Every experience, every link, and each challenge has been designed by you, although you may not have realized it. Now, you have the opportunity to do so with total consciousness. Exercise. The architect interior looks for a calm place, closes its eyes, and visualizes a large drawing table. This is the plane of your life, and the pencil is in your hands. Begin with the foundations. What? Beliefs about your reality are always changing, and that's totally normal. Now, let's take a look at those walls you've built up. They're there to protect you, but sometimes they can hold you back too. Those windows are like portals to your world, and what you see through them depends on your perspective. Each door you install represents an opportunity, and you have the power to choose whether to take them or not. The materials you use to build your life are a reflection of your thoughts. They can be as solid as faith or as fleeting as fear. Your thoughts are like a mirror, sometimes clear and other times more complex. The outside world is like a mirror too, but it's only showing you what's inside. When you finish this exercise, take a look at the changes around you. See how your internal world affects the world around you. The universe is like a mirror, showing you what's on your mind. You're sitting in a cabin full of memories of Marta, looking at old photographs that cover the table. The light of the late afternoon filters through the curtains. Your fingers gently touch each image, and in the middle of that quiet moment, you find something Marta had always believed, that his life was a collection of events, with no connection between them. But suddenly, you see the patterns. The same situations keep repeating, with different faces and scenarios. It's not a coincidence. It's the exact reflection of its design, the interior behind everything you live. A hidden designer, and that designer is you. Deepest mind, your subconscious is like a close friend who knows all your deepest, most personal thoughts, feelings, and desires. It's like a mirror, showing you what you're thinking and feeling, and helping you work through it. I understand the memories you carry with you. They are not just old stories, they are full of life, and they keep on working if you don't stop and look at them. If you keep looking at them, you'll keep recreating the same scenes over and over again. Marta understood this. When she saw an old photo of him, she realized that I had been living 4 years with the same thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. She realized that I could change everything to see clearly what was behind the teen exercise redesign. Your story is like a beautiful bouquet with 3 flowers, a positive one, a difficult one, and an unexpected one. Now, let's take a look at those flowers and the feelings they bring. What emotions did you feel most strongly? Were there any thoughts that stood out? If you look closely, you'll see that fear often plays a role. It can be a wall or a door, holding us back from our dreams. To begin, grab 3 blank sheets of paper. On the first one, let's write down the patterns that repeat in your life. What situations do you find yourself in over and over again, as if they were hiding in the shadows? On the second sheet, let's explore where these patterns come from. What beliefs do you hold that might be influencing your ideas about what is possible and what isn't? Maybe these beliefs were shaped by experiences you've had in the past. Don't worry if you forget, my friend. Just keep on going as if they were true. On the third sheet, you can write a new plane of yours, a story different from the one you've already written, but you can feel like it's real, not a fantasy, but something that springs from the deepest part of you. You can feel it as if it already existed. Let each phrase leave from that space where your internal truth has voice and strength. Imagine that these new schemes begin to take the place of the old ones. This is your time to take the pen and decide from the soul what comes. The moment you leave, you can repeat the old and create what you deserve. In another corner of the Howard world, adjusted with patience, their old watches each small click marked. It's not just about the time, but also how those moments slipped away. It's almost as if something got left behind while the new thing was still coming. But it's not here yet. Still, something inside him began to change. He realized that everything he was looking for wasn't in the past or the future, but right here, right now. The important thing is the present moment. The present moment, this breathing, and yet, we live as if we were always running forward or looking back, forgetting that the only place where life is really just here, right now. Our minds tell us that our wishes will arrive later, but reality doesn't expect tomorrow to manifest at this very moment. Howard understood this with his heart, not with words, through a real presence, a presence that lasted all afternoon. Refining an old watch, Howard realized that he had been measuring time with precision impeccable, but without really living it. Each act marked a lost moment, a new wait, and an inspiration wasted in imagining what was not yet. It reached until one day he left the tools, closed his eyes, and was simply present in that moment. Time seemed to stop. Silence filled the workshop, and he understood something essential. Time did not travel through him, but rather, time flowed through him. Exercise the now eternal, look for a place, quiet, close your eyes, and breathe deeply 3 times. Feel your weight, body, the air entering, and this is you. Now, allow the state you want to live. Don't beat yourself up if you feel like you need more. If you're looking for love in yourself, you're on the right track. You want to be successful, not just in the future, but right now. It's only a matter of minutes before you get there. If your mind tries to take you back to the past or future, just remember that this is the present. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you are. She was looking for a garden surrounded by roses, and every morning, she stopped in front of a hidden mirror among the flowers. The dew still shone when she whispered love phrases, waiting to attract your ideal partner. But with each day that passed, the void in his chest seemed bigger, as if his words would never reach her. I didn't know that desire creates a strong but also paradoxical vibration because asking reflects the lack of something. The universe doesn't necessarily respond to what we say, you know. What it does respond to is what we feel. When the universe heard me say, "I want love," it was a sign that I wasn't giving it the attention it deserved. It's all about the subtle difference between wanting something and knowing that you have it. Those who want to project a lack may not realize that they are actually transmitting fullness. The real change came when Clea stopped looking outside and started recognizing that love wasn't lost after all. One morning, she found herself waiting for him. She looked for his reflection, but she wasn't anxious or worried about not being able to see him. They stopped searching, and in that quiet moment, she saw what had always been there, a love that yearned. It wasn't something that should come, but rather something that needed to be accepted. She stopped using the word love and began acting as if it were true. In that instant, everything changed. She stopped feeling desire and stopped using the word emp. She understood that he was never alone. He was just focusing his attention in the wrong place. The mirror no longer showed him his face. The physical mirror is no longer necessary. Instead, we can exercise our conscience. We can sit calmly in front of a mirror and look deep in the eyes. Don't think about what you want instead of what you are already feeling. If you are looking for love, perceive it in your gaze. If you want abundance, feel it in your breathing. If you yearn for peace, take note of it. Take a moment to find that quiet place within yourself. Close your eyes for a few minutes and try to imagine or create something new, but also acknowledge what you've always felt. You'll see that you've shifted from wanting something to realizing it, and your mirror will stop showing you only your image, opening the door to your true self. It was just the beginning of the day when Samuel sat at the piano, his fingers dancing over the keys. Take a moment to find stillness within yourself. Imagine, if you can, that you're holding that feeling of calm and openness in your heart. Now, let yourself feel what you've always felt, even if it's a bit confusing or overwhelming. Samuel found himself sitting at the piano, his fingers dancing across the keys. In his mind, he was thinking about all the chances he'd missed, all the times he'd felt like he wasn't good enough. But when he started playing, it felt like a newfound strength, a confidence that he hadn't known he had. Samuel always thought that emotions were just a reaction to what happened in his life. But then, something inside him started to wonder. Maybe emotions aren't just a reaction. Maybe they are something more. While he was preoccupied with concerns about opportunities that didn't quite pan out, he felt a sense of confusion and unease. He had always thought of emotions as reactions to external events, but something inside him began to question this belief. Perhaps emotions don't just react, but also create. Each feeling has its own unique frequency and vibration that shapes our experiences. Anger doesn't just explode, it can also ignite creativity and passion. Samuel realized that the frustration he felt was as powerful as the inspiration he drew from it, but without an outlet to express it. Instead of fighting against his negative emotions, he began to see them as a source of energy that could be transformed. Tomorrow, they touched their door, and the cobra door's fear went up. Instead, they sat down. The piano let his anxiety transform into music, and something changed. The notes that came out were intense, sincere, and full of power. What was once scarcity vibrated into a fullness symphony. In the following week, opportunities that I hadn't seen before appeared, as if they had always been there. He's finally ready to share his musical gifts with the world. Samuel understood that every emotion, even the tough ones, has its place. It's about turning negatives into positives, turning every emotion into something beautiful. Here's a fun exercise. When you feel angry, scared, or sad, don't push it away. Notice how your energy moves through your body. Don't judge it. Imagine that energy is like a living light, not good or bad, but simply powerful. Now, imagine you're a conductor of an orchestra, not eliminating instruments, but guiding them towards harmony. You can transform any emotion into a strength that builds every other emotion. Even those emotions you wanted to avoid can become the fuel you need to manifest what you want, and you are the one. Picture this, you're standing before an artist, looking at their canvas, and feeling an intense emotion. Now, close your eyes and find that energy in your body. There's no need to label or categorize it, just feel your power in its purest form. Place your hands on that spot and imagine a light there. It doesn't have to be good or bad, it just feels powerful and vibrant. Now, with intention, direct that energy towards your creation. If you feel anger, let it guide you. Let that fire transform into a decision. If you're feeling afraid, let that alert become your compass. Emotions aren't something you should reject, but rather something you should embrace. You're the director, guiding each instrument to achieve a perfect harmony. You're not blocking emotions, you're orchestrating your power. This practice reveals that your emotions aren't enemies or owners. You're your most valuable tools, and you can create through this alchemy. Feelings that were obstacles before are now opportunities for growth. What are the foundations of your world? What do you want to express with your own gift? How does each emotion find expression in your unique role in your evolution under a sun burning brightly? Harold continued in his dry field with hands full of seeds, while others left tired by the drought. He sown patiently, as if I already felt the clouds approaching, such as they had taught you. They taught you that having faith is waiting with hope, something uncertain, but not the true faith. It is knowing without hesitation that you still do not see in another plane when plants a seed, do not. Hey, I was just wondering. Do you think you'll be working? You know, there's this tree inside that doesn't rely on outside signals. It's like how life works. It's not like creations need evidence to be real. They are already out there, hidden from sight, just waiting for you to see them. Doubt doesn't mean you don't have faith. When you doubt, you're actually trusting that something won't happen. That's okay, and it's totally normal. Harold understood this. Every day, he walked through his dry land, as if he saw the wheat dancing with the wind, its leaves gently brushing against each other's. Its plants seemed to be in conversation, as if sharing the joy of their neighbor's success. They looked at him with a sense of wonder, but he remained steadfast, knowing what was coming. One day, while others hurried to protect their fields from the LG clouds, he was ready. This outcome wasn't a surprise or a miracle, it was the natural result of your belief. Imagine a seed of certainty, seeking a place of quiet. Close your eyes and picture that seed in your hands. Feel its texture and imagine its potential. Then, say that seed represents what are you trying to express. Don't expect that broken knows what will do it, because that's just how it is. Every day, walk your inner garden like Harold walked through his field. Look at your creation as something that's already present and waiting for you to nurture it with your faith. Feed it to it, and watch it grow into a tree that you know deep down will appear in your life now. Imagine it in such vivid detail that it seems more real than what you see around you. Pay attention to the colors, listen to the sounds, touch the forms, and engage each of your senses. Go ahead and give it a try. Imagine that you already have everything you could ever want. It's not just a thought, it's an experience. You're not starting from nothing, you're tapping into something that's already there, waiting for you to discover it. The universe is communicating through vibrations and frequencies, not words. Raymond played the piano, his fingers dancing across the strings. With the utmost care, each note is tuned to perfection because he knew that harmony is not a matter of chance, it's your reality, your alignment. Every situation works the same. Every emotion vibrates with a determined rhythm, just like a single rope crossing can ruin a symphony. Fill your dominant frequency with love. The universe operates with laws that are exact, and among them are the laws of vibration. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs are not just loose ideas, they are active frequencies that travel through the field of reality. Dear Cosmic Fingerboard, you are always with me. I teach a signal energy that the universe simply equal. The revelation came to Raymond when he noticed that the days when I was emotionally misaligned, even the best peer turned less. Difficult to refine, understood that external was only reflecting what happened inside. After years working with sound, realized that forcing a rope did not generate harmony. The key was to gently guide her towards its ideal tone. The same goes for your life. Try to force changes without first adjusting your energy. Hey, no worries if you're having a hard time getting into the right mindset. The first step is all about self-refining. The world is like a melody, and you've got the talent to play it. Just take a moment to tune into your body and see what's going on inside. Sit in silence and notice how your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are like different frequencies. Now, picture the reality you want to create as a beautiful, pure note. Use your breath, your feelings, and your thoughts to start adjusting your inner world to that note. Keep going until you start feeling it in your heart. When you feel in tune, don't try to force the connection. It's like a beautiful rope that finds its tuning when you achieve that coherence. When you're in that place, the demonstration becomes effortless and natural, like a flower that turns to the sun. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you really are, in every moment. In another corner, Helen was in front of her canvas. The sun filled her light study, and her brush floated in. His handiwork was always so on point, but he felt like something was missing, that intangible magic that takes a painting and transforms it into something alive. Have you ever noticed how two people can do the same thing, say the same thing, and take the same action? But there's a key difference. It's not in what they do, but in the heart behind it. Emotions aren't just random reactions. They're the real fuel for creativity. When you grasp this, every change you've ever made becomes a step forward. Have you ever thought about how some thoughts just come up instantly, while others just don't seem to materialize? Well, it's all about emotional intensity. When you hold your emotions close to your heart, they become this powerful energy that you put out into the world. And the more intense your emotions are, the stronger the signal you send out, and the universe responds in kind, reflecting back what you vibrate. That's exactly what happened when he stopped painting obligation and started creating from the depths of his heart during a joyful moment. His first works were so powerful that they were sold instantly and touched the hearts of those who saw them. But when she painted from the routine, your paintings didn't transmit anything. They were technically perfect, but they lacked something. That's because our creations follow a simple rule: a thought accompanied by a strong emotion manifests much more quickly than one sustained by weak feelings. For that reason, moments of intense emotion more often mark important turns in life. No matter what you're feeling, know that the universe doesn't make decisions based on your thoughts. Instead, it's guided by the energy and emotions you bring to it. If you want something really bad, your emotions can help make that wish come true. Close your eyes and remember a time when you felt full of energy and alive. Let that feeling come back and spread throughout your body. Now, imagine your wish has come true, and hold on to that feeling as if it's real. It's amazing how your energy can change in seconds. This practice is like learning to use emotion as a creative tool. Just like Helen with her paintings, you'll learn to give life to your manifestations. Over time, you'll notice that emotions are like colors, and they are the vibrations that shape everything you experience. When you master this capacity, you'll be like a composer who orchestrates frequencies to become realities. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that sometimes the people who go for their dreams might not be the smartest or the most prepared. It's like when Lawrence stopped overthinking every little detail, and he just went for it. That's when things really started to change for him. He stopped worrying about what other people thought, and that's when he started to see things differently. It's kinda like what happens when you have a clear vision for your dreams. You start to see things in a new light, and that's when things can really take off. Absolutely, and without a doubt, you generate energy that's so consistent, the universe must respond in kind. But, if you fluctuate between believing and fear, your energy gets fragmented and doesn't have the strength to create discipline. So, just breathe, stay calm, and choose a clear desire. Keep it in your mind with the same security you have knowing that tomorrow, the sun will come out. When doubt no longer fights against certainty, it simply returns to it. And this begins with just 1 minute. This training is all about approach and focus, and it'll help you keep your energy balanced and centered. Just like Lawrence, you'll learn how to analyze and shape your reality. With practice, you'll strengthen your mind like a muscle, and you'll start to see the form inside that rough block, just like a sculptor. You'll start to recognize what's yours even before you touch it. Would you like me to continue with the next step? Each stone is like a little treasure chest, waiting to reveal its hidden gem. When you learn to hold your vision with clarity, you'll see that perfection is right around the corner. It'll become so clear and certain that you'll know it's there, like a warm, steady flow of knowledge deep within you. When you reach that level of conviction, the universe will be your partner in this journey. You have another option: you can gently lean in the direction of what you want because you are bringing to life the creative power that has always been yours. Simple Beatrice's bakery was right in front of his oven. He had a tense face and trembling hands. The fresh aroma of bread filled the room, but he couldn't shake the anxiety. He wanted to open the door before time to check if everything was going well. Maybe you also know that feeling of being overwhelmed with love. Verify again and again if your dreams are already blooming. But like bread needs time and heat to transform, your manifestations need time and care to continue their sacred rhythm. Every time you try to force the result, it's like you're interrupting the process that Beatrice is already working on. Remember when his mentor shared that old lesson with him? The baker who trusts in your process, you never fail. It's only when you decide to leave the oven closed and let time do its work that you might not get the result you want. But when he let his bread rise, it came out spongy, golden, and full of life and flavor. That's when he understood that the ingredient that always seemed to be missing from his wishes was patience. Once you plant the intention, you can relax because invisible forces will begin to move. You don't need to monitor or control it. Just keep your faith like a flame, constant. Your dreams will grow without you needing to observe them, just like a flower. You don't need to worry about them either. The exercise of divine time chooses to have you review your desires mentally. Close your eyes and imagine that you place your desire inside a gold bowl full of light. Support it there without conditions. Let's work together to understand your expectations and find ways to release them. You're also free to let go of the pressure to control everything. When you start to feel concerned, just take a moment to check if it's happening in your mind. Go back to that image and give it some peace. Remember, true faith doesn't need proof. It's yours to hold. Your manifestations don't arrive by force. They come when you're ready. When doubt appears, just let it go. It's just a passing cloud. Come back to the peace of knowing. You'll find that everything is flowing beautifully, just as a chef knows when to leave the oven be. You'll also learn to take a step back and let the universe do its thing. That Beatrice delivery space found something more than manifestation, it found peace. And with time, joy in his own company was no longer needed. He would fill his void because he had transformed into fullness. Then, when Thomas appeared, he was a stranger who approached to admire his flowers without her. I'll go find him, or I'll wait for his call. Things just happened, as they do. When you stop chasing them and you let them come to you, like flowers that bloom effortlessly in the sunshine. What Mildred didn't manage to achieve, years of intense searching, all of that came together for him right when he stopped fighting the truth. Love had clearly not been abandoned, it had just been holding on to tension that kept him away. When he let go of control, the creation will flow freely through her. The practice of release is not about giving up, but about having faith in the perfect process that sustains us. The universe wants you to find a quiet place where you can be with yourself and bring your mind to that desire you've been holding so dear. Take a moment to feel the weight of that attachment, the anxiety to achieve it, and the fear that it might not come true. Now, imagine that desire like a balloon in your hands, gently holding the rope. Hey, just a heads up, when you're gripping the rope, try not to squeeze too tightly. Instead, focus on releasing the pressure you hold in your hands. Then, gently let go of the rope and watch as the balloon rises, carrying your worries and doubts with it. This act of releasing doesn't mean giving up. It's about having faith that everything will unfold at the perfect time and in the perfect way. As you witness the balloon rise, remember to let go of any attachments you might have. Keep this thought in mind, what's meant for you won't be lost. I'm complete as I am. Repeat this ritual as long as you feel that you are clinging too much to a result, because the true power does not lie in desperate desire, but in the quiet knowledge that the universe constantly communicates with you, guiding you through subtle signals, repeated numbers, synchronies, coincidences that seem magical. Casualities are messages from something greater. They are trying to tell you something when you notice an image, a symbol, a number, or a repeating pattern. They might show up in your dreams or in your everyday life. These messages are inviting you to pay attention and learn to recognize them. Spend a few minutes every night taking your diary and writing down anything that stands out to you, like repeating symbols or numbers. Casualities are messages from a higher power. They appear when you notice an image, a symbol, or a number repeating itself. They might show up in your dreams or in your daily life. Take a few minutes every night to write down any interesting patterns or messages you notice. You may have heard words more than once, had dreams that left you feeling strong, or seen animals appear in unusual ways. Whatever it is, just write it down after 7 days. See what you've written and look for patterns. You'll see that life has been talking to you. Time is waiting for you to stop and listen. Look for patterns, and soon you'll begin to know how the universe speaks to you in a unique way. Keep in mind that signals are shown with greater clarity to those who are willing to receive them. The universe does not keep silent, it is always communicating. Change is your willingness to listen. The deepest truth of creation does not lie in asking, but in ordering. Those who have dominated the art of creating know that reality does. The universe speaks to each of us in our own unique way, and we just need to learn how to listen. The signals are there for those who are open to receiving them. The universe doesn't stay silent, it's always communicating. Change starts with being willing to listen. The deepest truth of creation is in asking, not in begging. Those who have mastered the art of creation know that reality doesn't respond to weak wishes or supplications, but to absolute conviction. When you understand this behind the passive demonstration and enter the true field of pure creation, your power doesn't need external authorization because it's born from your inner authority as a creator. The universe doesn't ask permission to form galaxies, and you don't need to ask to shape your reality. You don't have to ask permission to create your reality. When you let go of asking and start acting, things start to change. Put on a mirror at dawn or at sunset, place your hand on your heart, and give power to the creator within you. Speak with confidence and authority. Don't wait for others to agree, but speak as if your word is law. You have the authority in your voice and your body. You don't have to plead. When you're feeling creative, that's your universe speaking. Say the declaration 3 times, and feel your energy growing. The words themselves aren't powerful, it's the belief in them that has the power. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you say. Safety is the mindset of a creator, effortless and natural, just like the small-town life that Costa Calvin faced. For years, he trusted that being a great navigator meant dominating the sea. For decades, he fought against each storm with his body tense and his mind firm. Then, one night of oceanic fury revealed something different. Life, like the sea, does not respond to brute force, but to understanding. Deep has taught you that to create, you need to fight, to express, demand, and constant effort. Belief is the same one that keeps you going when you're going through tough times. The true power is not to resist the circumstances, but to align with the invisible forces that generate them. A wise sailor doesn't fight against the wind, he uses it to his advantage. You need to fight with your reality and understand it, and move with it. The universe doesn't operate with violence, it operates with precise and coherent laws. When you understand this, when you feel ready, you can leave strife and enter the natural flow of creation. Just think of the moon, which doesn't try to move the tides, or the earth, which turns without resistance. Your power works the same during storms. While the waves whipped their ship, Calvin felt a strange calm instead. He heard the rhythm of the sea and realized that the wind, which before had pushed against him, could be his guide if he just adjusted. In that moment, his candles grasped a crucial truth: the sea had never been an opponent. He simply had to adjust his approach. Calvin navigated through the storm with surprising ease, the very waters that had seemed so dangerous before now seeming supportive. It was as if the shore had become a friend, encouraging him to lean into the current rather than fighting it. It wasn't about battling, but about finding a deeper understanding. Alignment creation practice. This practice is so easy. Find a calm place, close your eyes, and bring to your mind a desire or challenge. Present now, instead of thinking how it feels or its internal rhythm. Imagine that there is already a current guiding you to it and repeating in a voice that is firm and calm. I free myself from the need to fight. My power is in the know, not in effort. What I want flows towards me easily, and perfection. Take a look at how your energy changes when you go through this state. You can feel your body and let your mind clear. Your breathing becomes deeper, your shoulders relax, and you are no longer pushing, you are flowing. This is the real state, where it is believed, not from force but from harmony with the natural laws of the universe. You become one with the movement of life, like a sheep that gets carried away by a current. Time is an illusion, and perhaps it's truly amazing when creation happens in a cozy workshop, with the steady sound of Florence watches in the background. We often believe that there's a gap between wanting something and getting it, but that belief can hold us back from living our dreams. The quantum field doesn't work with watches or waiting. All possibilities are already there, right now. Don't just wait for time to change, believe in yourself and your abilities. In the cozy workshop, surrounded by the steady ticking of the clocks, Florence discovered that creation happens in the moment. She realized that the belief in a waiting period between desiring and receiving was holding her back from living her dreams. The quantum field doesn't work with watches or waiting. All possibilities already exist at the same time. Don't just expect time, choose it. Time isn't a line running from the past to the future, it's like an ocean where each moment is a wave that you can choose to surf. While setting another stopwatch, Florence understood this. She realized that she had been trying to control time, like someone trying to catch their wind in a bottle. She released that belief and decided to embody her future. He stopped planning your success and started living it. He stopped waiting for the ideal moment and realized that the only perfect moment was right now. This was the watch of his workshop. They kept marking it according to time, but for her, they were no longer measured by time. They were symbols of the eternal moment where everything is born of change. Quantum, close your eyes and feel that you are exactly here now, without moving. He stopped planning your success and started living it. He stopped waiting for the ideal moment and realized that the only perfect moment was right now. This was the watch of his workshop. They kept marking it according to time, but for her, they were no longer measured by time. They were symbols of the eternal moment where everything was born of change. Quantum, close your eyes and feel that you are exactly here, now, without moving. Let your consciousness travel to that version of yourself that you already reached. What you want to observe is sitting there, breathing calmly, thinking clearly, and feeling a quiet certainty. This is not imagining, it's tuning into something that is already real in the quantum field. It speaks from that state, not I'm about to become that. I am already that. Time does not dictate my creations. I choose and actively what I want to experience at this moment. I do what I want. What I want already exists, and I simply choose to experience it fully at this moment. I remain in this state a few minutes, allowing that moment to pass. My conscience is in perfect harmony with this reality. I'm not waiting for something to happen, I am choosing what's already here. In a meticulously designed laboratory full of formulas and Albert graphics, he dedicated his days to carefully registering each variable, looking for patterns that could predict the future. His calculations became more and more complex, and his theories became more and more elaborate, but the certainty remained elusive. They taught that success is built with methodical steps and careful planning, that the future develops according to probabilities. But I kept that same belief, and it trapped me in a rigid path, always turning. You know, it's funny how the things we thought we knew about the creation weren't as complicated as we thought. It's like we're moving towards the reality we want, but along the way, we're also separating ourselves from others. Every moment is like a box of possibilities, and the true power isn't in predicting what will happen, but in choosing which one you'll live. While Albert was reviewing his equations one afternoon, his mentor put his hand on Albert's shoulder and said, "The future can't be predicted." Choosing that moment changed everything. Albert realized that the success he had been working towards was actually an internal state, and he stopped acting as someone else who tried to achieve something and began to move like someone who already had achieved. Since that day, their decisions sprouted from certainty, and the world began to reflect that transformation. Their great progress did not come from their formulas, but from his conscience. Future, close your eyes and breathe deeply. Feel like your environment disappears while connecting with your inner self. This is not about visualizing. Remember what you are already perceived as. Yours moves through life with tranquility. How clearly do you decide? How do you breathe with peace? Let that consciousness. You're in such a good place, and it's clear you are too. You don't need any proof. He just knows, and from that knowledge, he creates. Stay in that state for a few minutes, until it feels so natural. How about sitting in your favorite chair? Feel how your conscience wraps you like a second skin. You're not trying to become something, you're recognizing what you always was. Truth has been with you all the time, waiting for you to take away the veil of doubt. In a small fishing village next to a rich Harrison River, every day, against the current, looking for the best fishing spots, they were still. You're empty, and your body is tired from fighting against the flow. Water has taught us that creating something requires effort. You should push and strive to achieve your dreams, but remember that belief alone won't bring your desires to life. Manifesting something doesn't mean forcing it. Water doesn't push, it's guided. When you resist, you create turbulence that blocks what you want. Receiving your power isn't about opposing what is, but rather flowing with what you already know. On an exhausted morning, Harrison released the oars and let the current take him to a peaceful ensenada. He found a spot where the fish didn't seem to know about fighting. Since then, he's been learning to feel the water's rhythm and understand their patterns. He's come to understand that fighting against the river is a waste of energy. Instead, he's learned to flow with it, and his journey has become a beautiful harmony. Here's a practice you can try. Sit in silence, take a moment to notice your breathing, and see if there's any part of your life where you're pushing and resisting what's in front of you. Just imagine that you're water. Water doesn't fight with obstacles or push barriers. It finds new routes and feels the fluidity within itself. Let go of the need to control things. Let yourself be carried by the gentle flow of life, knowing that it will lead you to what you're meant to trust. Take a moment to rest and feel the difference between forcing and flowing. When you leave, don't resist, let yourself be guided by the universe's intelligence. Each step you take is guided by something bigger than you, and everything moves with grace. The barriers find new routes, and you can feel that fluid adaptability within you. Let go of the impulse to control the results and connect with the natural flow of life. The flow of life is already moving towards your wishes. Trust that this flow knows exactly when the perfect route is. The proper form remains in that conscious delivery status by some minutes, and you will perceive how it differs from struggle or effort. Clarity and inspiration will emerge naturally when you stop resisting and begin to flow. This is not about acceptance, but about being actively aligned with the creative forces of the universe. From that state, you move with grace, guided by a much larger wisdom than any mental strategy. A majestic salt from Everly Concerts. I was sitting in front of the Imagine piano with your fingers gently suspended above the keys. I knew every memory note, but his music just didn't have that special something that transforms sound into art. His performance was technically perfect, but there was a missing element, that element of uncertainty. That space between control and true creative expression. Just like you could have filled your life with activity, constantly, without leaving space for the sacred silence where the creation of the universe really began. The infinite potential of creation is found in those moments of silence, between thoughts, between breaths. Take a moment to pause and let go of any noise or activity. Silence the whispers of inspiration. Remember, divine creation doesn't happen in constant motion, but in deep stillness. That stillness isn't empty, it's full of possibilities waiting to take shape. One night, while Everly was getting ready to play, he noticed the spaces between the notes of his era. He realized that the music wasn't just the sound, but also the silence around it. When he started playing, he stopped rushing. Pauses let their music breathe. It changed, it ceased to be technical and became something that touched hearts. Silence revealed a secret that power doesn't. His music was born from a place of constant activity, yet it felt like space where anything was possible. It was as if he was giving back to the world through sound and silence, and together, they created a perfect harmony. Imagine this, you're practicing integration with stillness. Find a calm place, close your eyes, and let your conscience be possessed by the space between your thoughts. See how that silence feels vibrant and full of potential. It allows you to sink deeper and deeper into that field. Silence isn't empty, it's the origin of all creation, the source from which it's born. Everything stays there, observing how, without looking, clarity responds. Inspiration, the power of stillness is incredible. When you open your eyes, carry that quiet with you as if it were a precious jewel. It allows you to guide your actions, orient your decisions, and amplify your creative power. During the day, you will see how even the most everyday things are sacred acts of creation. In that silence, you touch the very source of the universe, the eternal spring of which all manifestation springs. It's where thoughts become dreams. How much more would I have struggled and moved away from if I hadn't made that cycle familiar to myself? Hey, I just wanted to let you know that sometimes, when we try to force or manipulate our reality, it can make us feel more exhausted than we thought we could handle. I totally get it because I've been there, and it's like we confuse strength with the ability to create, even though creating takes effort and sacrifice. But, the truth is, the real creation doesn't come from fighting, it comes from a much deeper place. And, Serena, when our desire is born from the ego, it's like we're saying, I don't feel enough, I don't believe enough, so I have to fight. But, the ego sees the world as something you have to conquer, and it doesn't understand that we're all enough just as we are. Everything you need is already inside you. When you feel your desire for something, It's coming from your connection with the divine and your natural plenitude. You don't need to be strong, it just flows through you. This isn't something new, it's a reminder that you're already enough. You're not creating something new, you're recognizing what you already are. You're a knight sitting among your plans and endless lists. Gregory gave himself. I realized that he had lived his whole life trying to prove his worth. Every goal he pursued, every achievement he wanted to achieve, was born of a false belief that only when he succeeded would it be enough. That night changed everything in the morning. Next, I couldn't force anything. He sat calmly in himself, and for the first time, he felt worthy without doing anything but exist from that state of fullness. Everything began to change effortlessly. The opportunities arrived alone, the relationships improved, and the success developed naturally. It was the universe that changed. When Gregory stopped needing to try, his value allowed its creative power to flow without practical blockages. Alignment with your totality closes the eyes and breathes deeply, feels the fullness that already exists within you. See if there are desires that come from a feeling of vacuum or insufficiency. Do not judge them. Go ahead and take a look at them. Imagine you're letting them go, taking them to a vast and infinite space. It's as if you're embracing abundance, not scarcity. This allows us to tap into our true desires, not the ones we think we need, but the ones that come from our inner selves and from that space. Let creation happen naturally and effortlessly. Go ahead and picture this, you're holding a mirror up to the world, and you're seeing all the imperfections. But, if you look closely, you'll notice that those imperfections are actually reflections of your own inner world. It's like a mirror in a village between Dorothy Hills, and they are all working really hard to make it. But, there's one mirror that's a bit different. It's got a lot of flaws, and it's always finding things that it doesn't like. It's like the world is showing you what you don't want to see. But, the problem isn't in the mirror. Your outside world only reflects what's already inside you. In a village between Dorothy Hills, people made mirrors with great dedication. But one in particular obsessed. It didn't matter how much Pelia found a defect, because it made her feel like the world only showed what you least want. The problem wasn't in the mirror, it was in herself. The mirror reflected the outside world. It acts as a perfect mirror, reflecting your beliefs, your thoughts, and your more intimate emotions. If you see a shortage, it means that within you there's a feeling of missing something. If you see judgment, it means that within you there's a trial that is not punishment, but precision. One day, when Dorothy examined the defective mirror, she understood that the defect moved. It was her own reflection of the world around her. The mirror simply reflected what was in her heart, her mind, and her deepest, most personal feelings. If she saw a shortage, it meant that she felt something was missing. If she saw judgment, it meant that she was judging herself. One day, when she looked closely at that mirror, Dorothy understood that the defect was within her, not in the mirror. Instead of fighting against that reflection, she turned her gaze inward and began to accept herself as she was. And something incredible happened. The imperfections that she had always seen simply disappeared. Dorothy's practice of using the mirror to reflect reality, sitting in silence and observing her environment, really paid off. Dorothy, the mirror is a great tool for understanding your emotions and actions. If you notice any imperfections, don't worry. Just ask yourself what they are reflecting. If you see a lack in yourself, ask yourself what part of you feels like you're not enough. If you notice resistance, ask yourself what you're resisting internally. If you're judging yourself, remember that the mirror can't show what you don't have. Take a look at the things you do, the people you interact with, and the emotions you feel. Ask yourself what might be causing you to react the way you do. If you feel like there's something missing in you, if you're resisting something, or if you're judging yourself, then you might be resisting a part of yourself. Remember, the mirror can only show what's on the outside. You are the only one who can identify those reflexes as internal projections. You have the power to change them from the root in an ancestral library, between texts sacred from all Nathaniel cultures. For years, people have been searching for the truth about the creation. Maybe you've also wanted to know how to manifest your ideal reality. But Nathaniel discovered that night, not in books, doctrines, or techniques,